How are you doing? So there's a lot of influencers who say that we should no longer say this to one another. To get into deep, you should use this, or to persuade people, you should say this. And I'm going to push back on that and say that how are you doing is a really good thing to ask people. But where is it coming from is the point of view, because culturally we have this just thing that we do with each other. How are you doing? I'm good. How are you doing? Good. And it's just like there's really nothing that's taken place. But let me give you an example where something does take place. It's where it's coming from. So I was coming out of a shower at a resort, and an employee was walking in the hallway, and I said, "Good morning, how are you?" And they answered, "Good." But it was rote, and I could tell that their disposition was not, "I'm good." It was, because I'm an employee and I need to be in a good mood. And I just stopped them and I said, "No, I mean, really, are you okay?" And they smiled, and they had this recognition that I recognized them. I recognized their disposition, and it wasn't matching up. And they said, "No, I'm okay." And it was in that moment that we had a moment. And then I was like, "Okay, and have a good day." And so it's where it's coming from. And so, like, how does this work in my life? And so I am focusing on ontology, the structure of ontology of human beings. So what's important in that for me is family structure. So we have this idea of these individuals that are within the family. But when I focus on the structure of the family, it's like, okay, this is a family member, but individually I may not have the greatest relationship with them. But if I want to serve the structure of the family, then I can check in with them. So I have one person in my family that I check in with, and I always just say, "Hey, I'm checking in, and how are you doing?" They give me how they're doing. And I used to, when I was personal, then it would be like, "Oh, this is going to be a disagreement. They're not going to care about how I'm doing, blah, 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 blah." But because I started serving the family structure, then it was, I can just hear them out and check in with them. And I like this rapport that I have, because I'm not looking to try to solve the other person's problems. I'm not trying to give them advice to change the difficult things in their life. I'm simply just checking in and saying, "How are you doing?" and then allowing them to speak. And I know that, especially with this person, I'm not going to get a "How are you?" And I've become very okay with that, because that's not the problem. I'm not serving the individual anymore. I'm serving the ontological structure of family.